Welcome. My name is Ross. I'm a mindfulness trainer, and here we'll be exploring how to let go of negative emotions. New scientific findings. All thoughts are filed in the mind's memory banks under a filing system based on associated feelings and its finer gradations. This is new for us to understand that they are not logically stored, they're actually stored under feelings or feeling tones. The understanding of the underlying emotion, example, aversion, and its correct handling is therefore more rewarding and less time-consuming than dealing with one's thoughts. So we have a three-step process in order to work with this. We're looking at first we recognize it. So first in the beginning we are unfamiliar with the whole subject of feelings. It's often advisable to begin by merely observing the feelings without any intention of doing anything about it, just watching it, observing it, noticing it, naming it. In this way, clarification will occur about the relationship between the feelings and the thoughts. Now, later, after there's more familiarity, some experimentation can occur. For instance, certain areas of thoughts that tend to recur can be set aside and the feeling associated can be then identified. The second step in this process, and this is a process that takes time, but the second step is to acknowledge it. So the feeling can be worked with by accepting that it's there without resisting it. So nothing really changes for us unless we first recognize it and accept it. The thought is my thought, the emotion is my emotion, and now that we're in a place where we can actually start to work with it. So having that understanding, later then we can begin to empty out the energy out of that feeling directly by just letting it be. Just letting it be what it is until the anger, the aversion runs out of that emotion. And then later still, the former thoughts that surrounded that aversion can be looked at, and their character kit will be observed to have changed. So just by going directly and feeling the feeling and being with it in a non-judgmental way, we allow the whole process to take on just a natural healing process. And the third stage is the understanding it. So finally, if the feeling has been totally surrendered, let go of, the feeling has been felt in a safe way in the body, usually all the thoughts that are associated with it will disappear entirely. So we'll go back to a similar experience when we see a person, and rather than having this familiar set of thoughts about that person and the associated feeling, we'll find that that has changed entirely. The negative thoughts will be replaced with a new understanding or insight, which handles this matter quickly. So in summary, we can just look at these three steps, and just to remember that we take our time, we don't rush into this. This is not just something that we can sit down and expect to have immediate results. But as long as we're interested and we have the courage and we're able to ground ourselves in a safe way, then we can begin by recognizing what's there. And aversion is the easiest emotion to work with. And whatever we use in this process with working with the aversion also works for sadness, loneliness, for all our emotions. So our self-talk might be in recognizing that there is aversion. The next stage, again, when you're ready, is to acknowledge it. This is my aversion. We're taking responsibility for it. We're willing to feel it so that we can better understand it. And then third is the understanding of it. We start to understand that there's nothing wrong with feeling aversion, that it's just part of being a human being. So thank you for your interest, and as we have often heard, that happiness is really an inside job.